What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today we're going to take a look at a GRASSBOX deck that's using a bunch of new cards and also some old cards that you might want to build a deck around and play with. So this was influenced by a Japanese deck list I found on howhownews.com that we'll take a look at in just a moment. And like I said, we're going to be implementing some new cards from Vivid Voltage into this standard format GRASSBOX deck list. Before we do that, shout out to PotownStore.com, the best place for you to get PTCGO codes. Be sure to use code CELIO for 5% off. So it will be featuring this Zarude V, which we will take a look at in just a moment. So here's the image from How News and from Twitter, from user Hobby Staff on Twitter. There are some cards in here that are no longer legal for our standard format since this is from Japan, such as the Lugia GX from Celestial Storm and Netball, which they are playing 4 of since, you know, this is a grass deck, so Netball's pretty good in it. But it is kind of a Rillaboom Sword and Shield box with Rillaboom VMAX, Zarude, Orbeetle V, and the new Shiftry as attackers. Also, Eggrow, can't forget Eggrow. So I've constructed my own deck list for this, which we will go over, but this is the exact list from Japan if you were interested in that. But like I said, there are some cards that have rotated out, but this is the deck list that influenced the deck list that I'll be talking about today. But I did want to look at some of the new cards first in case you didn't know what they did or needed a refresher. So Zarude V, 210 HP. The second attack is what we're really looking at here. Jungle Rising for 2 grass energy. It does 100 damage, and you may attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your hand to your benched Pokemon in any way you like. If you attach energy to a Pokemon in this way, heal all damage from that Pokemon. So even if 2 of your Pokemon on the bench were damaged, you can heal both of them potentially with Jungle Rising and also accelerate energy. So Zarude V isn't going to really be killing anything usually, but a very, very awesome and refreshing utility attack to have in the standard format. So I really want to try to make something work with that. Then Orbeetle VMAX, 310 HP. Now, I also want to note, this list does not have Orbeetle VMAX, just the Orbeetle V, but I'm going to be using Orbeetle VMAX in my deck list. So, Orbeetle VMAX, 310 HP, also a new card from Vivid Voltage. The ability Eerie Beam, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So you could even just send Orbeetle VMAX up with an air balloon, use its ability, and then retreat it to your attacker. But Gmax Wave, 50 damage plus 50 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So some decks like Centiskorch or Colossal that are going to have a lot of energy on them, Gmax Wave might be really good versus those kinds of decks. And just a quick refresher for Rillaboom VMAX, sliding over here to LimitlessTCG.com. Also, that previous site was PokeGuardian.com. Rillaboom VMAX is our big damage dealer. For 4 energy, it does 130, and then you could discard up to 3 energy to do up to 150 damage more for each energy card you discarded. So a total of 280 damage, which is a lot of damage. And it has 330 HP, so with a big charm, this has 360 HP. So very, very hard to knock out. Your opponents are usually going to have to 2-shot this, which is good since we're using that Zarude V to potentially heal our Pokemon. So the deck list I have, since of course Vivid Voltage is not on PTCGO yet, November 13th, mark your calendars. Actually, November 12th, sorry. November 13th is the official release date, but it'll be on PTCGO November 12th. So head on over to PotownStore.com to get your codes for that. So I've just kind of typed out the list here. So definitely a makeshift deck list video today, but I wanted to show you guys the cards before we did this. So this is the list I've constructed. Of course, this isn't tested or anything. This is just theoried out, a GRASSBOX list that I would like to try when Vivid Voltage comes to PTCGO. And like I mentioned, it's going to be utilizing multiple new cards. It's using the new Zarude V, and it's using the new Orbeetle VMAX to complement the older grass support that we already have. So Rillaboom can accelerate 2 grass energy from the deck every turn. Growl allows you to evolve up into Rillaboom on turn 1. Rillaboom VMAX is your strong attacker. Orbeetle VMAX is kind of like a backup attacker, and it's also there for the ability. And then Zarude V, of course, is there to accelerate some energy while also healing your Pokemon. So the strategy is you'll start with Growl, evolve up to Rillaboom. From there, if your Growl gets hit, you could even immediately go into Zarude V and heal the Growl. Growl's GX attack is also incredibly strong, which we can just go take a look at here real quick. So Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor tag teams Tropical Hour GX for 6 energy. It does 200 and shuffles all of your opponent's energy back into their deck. So this is a very, very strong GX attack. So versus ADPZ, if you evolve up into Rillaboom, they attach, they don't get the turn 1 alter. Or sorry, so if you evolve up into Rillaboom, that would be their turn 2. So you evolve up into Rillaboom, they alter creation, you swing with Growl's first attack, they hit you for 180, then you can Tropical Hour all of their energy into their deck. So Growl can be very good against a multitude of decks, and like I said, if they just hit your Growl once, you can retreat into Zarude and heal it, or you can go into Rillaboom VMAX, try to knock something out. They hit your Rillaboom VMAX because, like I said, with a big charm, 360 HP, it's not really going to get knocked out unless it's a fire deck. So then you can retreat into Zarude, maybe clean up the Pokemon with the 100 damage, accelerate some energy, and heal some damage. So our support line in this deck, or our support in the deck, we have 1 Dedenne GX. That's our only support Pokemon, but we do have a fairly thick supporter line. We have 4 Professor's Research, 3 Marnie, and a Guzmahala for search and draw, and then we also have a Tag Call, which is kind of a pseudo second Guzmahala or Malolana. The Tag Call is also important because it can search out Growl, so you can go Tag Call for Growl, Guzmahala, then Guzmahala for capture energy to capture energy out your Grookey, and then from there you can evolve it up into Rillaboom. We also have 3 Switch, 1 Malolana, and 1 Air Balloon as our switching options. So I like the Air Balloon since we are playing Guzmahala. Like I mentioned, the Air Balloon can be good on Orbeetle VMAX if you just want to send it out after something's knocked out and then retreat it just to be able to use its ability. So 3 Switch, 1 Malolana, 1 Air Balloon I think is fine for our switching options. The Malolana is also Tag Call searchable, which is nice to have. We're playing the 2 Weakness Guard because I think we actually do have a very real chance versus fire decks as long as they're not hitting us for weakness. So if they aren't playing Giratina from Unified Minds to remove our energy, I do think we have a very good chance versus fire decks since Rillaboom has a ton of HP, can do a lot of damage. We have Growl that can shuffle their energy back in. We have Zarude that can heal. We have Orbeetle VMAX that does more damage for the more energy they have on them. So a lot of options in this deck. It looks very, very fun to play, and it's something that over the past day I've actually become very intrigued with and very excited to play with when Vivid Voltage does hit PTCGO. So I hope you've all enjoyed this deck profile. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more daily PTCG, sometimes PTCGO content here at Celio's Network. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you did enjoy it. And yeah, PotonStore.com for all of your PTCGO needs. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.